Very good morning, everyone. My name is Kiran Yarlagada. I'm the founder and CEO of Bullion Data Systems. Bullion Data is a Snowflake services partner with primary focus on data engineering, data science, and analytics. Today, we are going to present about our data pipeline accelerator product that we have built for Snowflake customers using Snowpipe technology. So to present this product today, I have our CEO of our company, Hitesh, on the call as well. Hello, Hitesh. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Kiran.
How are you doing today?
Awesome.
Yeah. So before we jump into the demo, I would like to give a quick background around why we built this accelerator, for our Snowflake customers. So while and when we were implementing Snowflake, in today's digital world, especially after COVID, every enterprise has multiple systems they are connected to, and they bring in all the data into Snowflake. They ingest the data, then they start building, analytics or data science models on that. So if you look at like a startup to a large enterprise, they have like ERP applications, CRM applications. They have different technology products. From where data is basically coming in, and the teams would like to, understand, how the data is performing, or, build analytics and other models on that. So usually, typically, an IT user, whenever a new data set has to be migrated into Snowflake, they have to create a data pipeline through, custom coding by moving the, CSV files to Amazon S3, then again, creating a pipeline and then moving the data in the required format to Snowflake. So whenever there is a change or, a new feature is required, there is some amount of coding and human intervention that is required. So we figured we want to make this process easier by creating a semi-automated data pipeline accelerator where people can just upload the file into our product UI that we have created. And, in the back end, the pipeline from Snowflake all the way to S3 is created automatically. So we'll jump into, more details about the product from, what business use cases it's solving, to a demo, and also the technical aspects of the product. So Hitesh, how are you? So what is the business use case the product is, the accelerator is going to solve for our customers?
Yeah, so Kiran, basically, continuous data integration into Snowflake has been a great use case, right? And we can achieve that through a number of ways. But Snowpipe and building data pipelines from different data sources into Snowflake is the most preferred way. So today, any enterprise has every enterprise is trying to integrate data into Snowflake as much as possible, and the data can come from internal applications or third-party applications, vendors, suppliers, you name it, right? And most of the data is getting exported and being available to us as data dumps. There are CSV files, there are formats like Avro, Parquet. There are different types of data exports that are coming from different data sources, and we wanted to build a automated pipeline generator that can take these data dumps and create a pipeline so that the data moves from the data dump into Snowflake seamlessly. Mm-hmm. And people want to reject some columns, add new columns, or change the name of the columns and all of that stuff. And for that, there has to be a lot of liaising and work that has to happen between the business user, the database developer, and typical IT developers. And it takes a lot of time. We thought, why don't we make it very easy, create an interface so that a business user or a developer, doesn't matter who it is, can take the CSV or Avro or Parquet file, configure the columns that they want to move into Snowflake schema and into the table, and redefine or rename the column names, and with a click of a button, create a pipeline. Mm-hmm. So that going forward, whenever there is a continuous data dump, that is getting into any cloud provider. You took S3 as an example, but we also support Azure or GCP or whatever it is. So wherever the data dump is available, our pipeline automatically reads the file, takes only the data that is needed, and dumps it into or integrates into your Snowflake schema. So this is the typical use case that we wanted to solve. And this is when we are working with a customer that is actually trying to integrate. They have about 3,000 suppliers worldwide.
Mhm.
And the use case was 3,000 suppliers would send their updated price tables every alternate day or weekly or monthly. And the formats were all different because they were coming from different ERP systems and pricing systems.
Mhm.
So they wanted to build about 1,000 pipelines for each of the supplier. There may be some common data sources or common data types, but building those many massive pipelines was a challenge. It requires a lot of effort. So we
Mhm.
thought, why don't we create this? And it's a common use case that can be replicated. So that's the accelerator all about.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
No, you got a good point that you mentioned that this data accelerator works with almost all the popular cloud providers like AWS, Azure, and GCP. Since most of our internal products and demos are built on AWS, I think I naturally mentioned S3. But thanks for clarifying that. And how about we move into doing a quick demo of the product, Hitesh?
Sure, Kiran. Let me do that. Let me share my screen. So, see, this is the most simplest user interface that we have built. Though the interface looks very simple, there is a lot of complex logic that is going behind. So let me also get into Snowflake, and I have created a temporary schema called Pipeline Builder for the demo.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and check the pipes in the system. There are no pipes at this point of time. And let me also see tables. There are no tables today. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So through the semi-automated data accelerator, in the back end, we have configured the Snowflake account to connect to, and we have also hard-coded the cloud provider that it needs to connect to, whether it is AWS, Azure, or GCP. But for some of our customers, we customize the accelerator to configure the AWS accounts, the database, the Snowflake account, etc., through the UI, and point it to different environments for their production, development, and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm connecting to developer DB, and let me also connect to pipeline builder schema. And let me actually share the whole desktop so it's easy for you. So this is a sample CSV file. So this
Mm-hmm.
is a CSV file with, I don't know, maybe about 50 columns,
Mm-hmm.
and got tons of data. So all I need to do is, select the CSV file. And once I select the CSV file, my pipeline builder is actually demonstrating the CSV file here. Yeah. So it has processed the CSV file. If you look at it, it is showing you a snapshot of the CSV file.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And these are all the columns that are in the CSV file that's already uploaded to your S3 bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And say, for example, the column in the CSV file is distance with MI, but I don't like the way it is represented. I can change the names of the column. I don't want to actually use side. I don't want to import side. It is not relevant for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to import airport code. It is not relevant for me. You can take, pick and choose the columns that you want to. And this gives you a snapshot on how the import finally looks like.
Okay.
So once you have configured everything and you're ready to go, all you need to do is select build the automatic pipeline and click on submit. So the pipeline is getting built, and
So where is this UI that's created, Hitesh? Is it on Streamlit?
yeah, so this entire UI is created on Streamlit, Kiran. This is very easy for us
So
to.
we are well within the Snowflake ecosystem of the UI as well.
Yes. So we are not creating complicated Angular. We don't have to manage all of that stuff. So now if I go ahead and run, there is a new customer pipe that is created. If you look at it, and it's properly, there is a notification channel that is set, and everything else is set. And if you also look at my schema, right? Let me go ahead and refresh once. Yep, go to developer DB, my pipeline builder schema, and go to tables. You have your customer table, and you can always go ahead and okay, and run the query. So you have all of that stuff. See how that column name changed, and the column that we unselected is also not there. So going forward, what happens is whenever new data is getting into S3 bucket with the same CSV file into that particular S3 bucket, then automatically our pipe will kick in, pull the data, and it will update the table. So essentially, within a few clicks, few selections, and by uploading a simple CSV data and pointing it to the right schema, you have created the table, you have created the pipe, and you are ready for continuous data flow from any application. It's as simple as that.
I think this looks like a very easy to use front-end application for most users, even if they are semi-technical. I think it's very easy to drag and drop files here and get them loaded into Snowflake as well as their cloud provider. So Hitesh, if not for this accelerator that we have built, what is a typical business doing in terms of doing the same activity? How much time would it generally take? How many resources would we need? And what technical knowledge would we need here?
Yeah, it will take anywhere from 2 to 3 days for each pipeline to be developed. That's the most optimistic timeline. But you have to look at the number of pipelines that a typical business wants to build, right? So sometimes, for the customer that we have seen, they have 3,000 suppliers who are continuously pumping data. So it's a large number. So that said, the typical business process is we get the sample CSV file from whoever is supplying the data. Then we analyze the CSV file. Then we want to define what columns we want and what columns we don't want. And then throw it in a Jira ticket and give it to the technical team. And the technical team will then create a table and then import the data, create the pipeline, configure the S3 bucket, configure the notification channels and all of that stuff. It takes time. It takes about 1 or 2 days, right? But through this accelerator, it hardly takes, we saw it, right, 2 to 3 minutes to finish it.
Okay. So we're definitely adding value to the business by reducing their man hours,
Yes.
Technical dependency, and accelerating the business process by quickly loading the files here. Fantastic. So Hitesh, can you shed some light on the technical aspects of this accelerator for our users? Like what have we done to build this? What's going on? What's under the hood here?
Okay, so under the hood, the accelerator is built in Python. So what we do is, we have the UI that we have created. So in the backend, we connect to Snowflake, the schema. We understand the CSV file. We upload the CSV file to an S3 bucket, and then we automatically write the Python code based on the selections of the different columns and names, etc. And we configure that in AWS or be it in any cloud provider, and then create the snow pipe and set up the snow pipe. This whole process is being done in the backend.
Okay, fantastic. So Hitesh, now that you have demoed the product, can you tell our viewers or listeners about some of our current customers or certain use cases that our current customers are using in utilizing this product or accelerator?
So I just spoke about a customer who have a large number of suppliers, right, Kiran? So there is one more customer who has about 300,000 existing contracts with their suppliers, vendors, and all of that stuff. And the contract has complex pricing discount, volume discount, and a number of other data. And the data is flowing from the current what you call procure to pay system, and we are getting dumps of a CSV file with the orders that have gone to all these suppliers. And then we have data coming in from the payment system. So we have created we had to create massive number of pipelines to connect all these different data sources, inject the data into Snowflake with the complex metadata of each different type of contract, so that Snowflake can start, and then we built a data model on top of it to predict when will the volume discount kick in a financial year, when will the tenure discount kick in based on the volumes that we ordered, etc. So that the procurement folks are actually placing orders to the right supplier so that they get faster volume discounts and tenure discounts, but yet manage their inventory in the right way. So we had to create close to 70 different pipelines to continuously integrate data from different data sources, their existing procure-to-pay system, their AP systems, their inventory management system, and all of that stuff. So we used this accelerator to create those many number of pipelines, and it was very easy. So the business users really loved it because the dump that is coming from a procure to pay system, there are so many columns that we don't need, right? For our model to predict what is the fastest or the best vendor to select. So this is just one sample use case that we have used this accelerator.
Okay. So I had a couple of questions regarding the accelerator. Like, if some of our future customers would like to add like new file types or change, we see there is a limit on the file size. Will we be able to add like new file types or change the file size for our new customers?
Yes, we will be. So we are currently also enhancing this accelerator to integrate with APIs and see how we can build a Snowpipe to constantly talk to a webhook or API to fetch the data and pump it into Snowflake. We have also customized this accelerator for different customers to point to different Snowflake environments and AWS environments, because some of them want to create the pipelines in their dev, test them thoroughly, and then move it to production. So the productionization of the accelerator is definitely that we will do for each customer depending on the requirement.
Okay. Yeah. That's good to hear that you can direct the accelerator towards multiple Snowflake environments as well. Thanks for the demo, Hitesh. I am very confident that in this digital world, especially after COVID and with extreme talent crunch in the market, especially with Snowflake technical resources, there always a crunch in the market. So I'm confident this tool will add a lot of business value by reducing, the total man hours required by the IT resources, eliminating repetitive processes and automating a lot of the manual tasks, and providing a lot of return on investment for businesses. Thanks Hitesh for your demo today, and hope to see you again.
Thanks, Kiran. Thank you so much.